dances with Gene Kelly, mixes it up with the late Groucho Marx, and then has drinks with the late Cary Grant. Now, we'll show you how she did that.
Teals with Groucho Marx, had dinner with Cary Grant, and you're only 30 years old? Even in Hollywood, that one would be tough. But if you're Paula Abdul, it's true. Seemingly impossible, but true. Here's how she did it.
There's just one, and there's no mistaking it, one. Just no faking it, one.
Why don't you and me do some fancy stepping tonight?
In this Diet Coke commercial, Paula Abdul does some fancy stepping with Gene Kelly in 1945, tap dances with Groucho Marx in 33, and shares a soda with a dashing Cary Grant in 1958. She's not dancing with celebrity impersonators. She's actually hoofing it with the real superstars of yesterday.
You're not so bad yourself.
How'd they do that? In a surreal way, this commercial blends the present with the past. With old film and modern technology, the soft drink company was able to blend a current pop star with these legends.
When Diet Coke first came to me with an idea and a storyboard to use Cary Grant and Groucho and Gene Kelly in this spot, I was so excited because they are extremely different icons that I truly love.
It all begins in the studio. Filmed last April, Paula first dances the sequences by herself, pretending all the while Gene Kelly is dancing right along next to her.
Action, go.
The object was to match as closely as possible the dance steps of Gene Kelly. How'd they do that?
Record and music. It was a real test to see if she could get it right on the button to match his dancing exactly. Because of the parameters of working on a piece of film and looking back at a combined piece of film to see if it works is very, very difficult, and she had to match it exactly.
But timing and positioning weren't the only technical considerations. Back in 1945, Gene Kelly danced this beloved sequence in Anchors Away. The challenge was to match the size of Kelly with Abdul 47 years later, and for that, a special camera was developed. The camera is robotically controlled to match the original way the film was shot. In other words, through computers, the camera memorized Kelly's moves. On the set, it was up to Abdul to follow the robotic camera, which of course knew what Gene Kelly was doing. So now the original dance steps and distance between Abdul and the camera and Kelly and the camera are the same. In order to determine where and how real shadows would fall if Gene Kelly were actually dancing on the same set, a stand-in did the same number. Once the filming was completed, all the elements were assembled with the aid of computers. Of course, that also meant getting rid of a very youthful Frank Sinatra. The first step was isolating Gene Kelly from the original scene. This is done by transferring the original film clip onto digital videotape, and then a cutout or video mat of his image was made. Editors moved Kelly's image around to get it into the right place, concentrating on his shadow and matching shadows from people in the background. Finally, a video sandwich is made, two different images, Kelly's and Abdul's, superimposed on one another to make one. Next came Groucho, the same precision for every sequence. By using this green key screen, an illusion of depth is created when Paula's image is superimposed with Groucho's. The same technique to isolate Gene Kelly was used to isolate Cary Grant. But in the original, he was pouring champagne. Of course, in the commercial, he pours a soft drink. How'd they do that? The first step was to construct a robotic arm. The arm pours the bottle of soda in the same position as Grant does every time. A cutout mat is made to isolate the bottle. Grant's image has already been lifted from the original film, so now, in another video sandwich, Grant, Abdul, and the background are combined to make one image. For the production, the effects were technically astounding. For the soft drink company, one of the most expensive commercials they ever made. And for us, a perfect subject for how'd they do that.